had celebrated at University of Tennessee Chattanooga, which is where he went. So he celebrated, quote unquote, with his people. Now the Hall of Fame is considering a Terrell Owens rule, which may require Hall of Famers to actually show up to Canton. How do you feel about the idea of such a stupid rule?
I mean, how do you enforce something like that?
Exactly. Like, what are you going to really do?
You're going to rescind the offer to go into the Hall of Fame? Is that what you're going to do? How does that make you look good?
Doesn't.
Yeah. You just kind of got to accept that, some people are going to not be super happy and do, kind of petty things to get back at you.
Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, don't be an asshole to him. He won't be an asshole to you. I mean, you saw.
Not necessarily.
I mean, what has he ever done to someone that wasn't being an asshole to him? Come on. Are we going to sit here and really act like D'Angelo Hall didn't deserve to get spit in the face? D'Angelo Hall is one of the biggest assholes in the NFL. I mean, other than that, what has he done? He's done fucking sit-ups topless in his driveway? Who cares? He's just a weirdo. He's cried because Tony Romo, whatever, that's my team, that's my quarterback. Like, he's shown that if you're good to him, he'll be good to you. If you're a dick to him, well, you're going to get the TO treatment. I mean, sorry, stupid writers, but I don't know where you come off on this high horse, and we're going to get into the writers later because they're really pissing me off.
Oh, shocker.
But it's as simple as this. Terrell Owens deserved to be in the Hall of Fame last year. There's no doubt about it. The guy is undoubtedly one of the best wide receivers in NFL history, and some people have made and could make the argument that he's the best wide receiver in NFL history. How do you leave him out because he's a bad teammate? Because he's an annoying conference or interview or whatever? It has nothing to do with his game. If you want to make the argument that, there are things that were off the field that are keeping baseball players out of the Hall of Fame, yeah, those are steroids that, change the entire...
or betting on your own.
Yeah, or betting on your own team, your own games. Mm-hmm. So those are things that directly affect the outcome of games. Terrell Owens being an asshole doesn't. Let him be his asshole self. Just be like, oh, God, I hated interviewing him. And move on with your life. That's it. No more, no less. Just move on with your life. There's no reason why he was not a Hall of Famer the first time his name appeared on the ballot.
He shouldn't have been, but writers hold grudges for stupid things. I mean, there's one writer that decided that
Ken Griffey Jr.
Should go into the Hall of Fame on a first ballot. Like, who the hell are you?
Ken Griffey Sr.
But writers have this overwhelming, feel of, entitlement that they feel like, oh, I can control the destiny of this player by doing this. Like, shut up and be honest with yourself and just, do your job accordingly. Because, quite frankly, we read you so we can get our information, and in fairness, we tolerate that you're the one delivering it.
And quite frankly, we don't even read it. We skim it looking for stats. That's what it is. There's very few writers that I will even read what they're writing. I just look for things that back up what I'm saying for confirmation bias. That's really all I read articles for these days, unless they're list articles. Other than that, I mean, I don't really care about your shitty opinion. Just shut up and, report the facts.
Give me what I need to know and leave.
Seriously, what's going on with RG3's knee? What's going on with Teddy Bridgewater's life? I want to know that. How will these things affect? I don't want to hear about how you don't like Terrell Owens because one time at a press conference, you had a question and he ignored you for the guy behind you because the guy behind you was Bob Ryan or whoever the fuck it was. Just fucking move on. That's it. Come on. Now you've got me. Like, is this the Dan's I can't rant? Because
Starting to do that.
I mean, it is right now.
it's Jesus
But
Christ.
go for it. I understand. I'm the exact same way. I don't. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but sometimes you just need to. I don't need to.
I mean,
I don't need to hear from all different angles. I mean, everybody's got. I mean, recently I've had to hear from the moment that the Urban story popped off. Every single Yahoo Sports update was about Urban Meyers. Every single one for like 2 days. It's like, how much can you possibly get out there that isn't out there anymore? And why do you keep going to the well to get people to read your articles when we don't know anything new?
they don't care about reading the articles. It's clicks on the article. That's what they're looking for. That's what they want. Clicks on the article. And we'll talk about Urban Meyer in just a little bit. Because, believe it or not, my opinion may shock you, Tony.
I don't know that it will, but go ahead.
We'll talk about it later.
All right.
What we're going to talk about right now is that Hall of Fame game. Did you guys watch? Did everyone watch the Hall of Fame game?
Yep.
I did not get a chance to.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
Okay, so I'll inform you on the important things you missed, which, quite frankly, is not a lot. All right? But just so you know, it was between the Ravens and the Bears.
Bears quarterbacks both look like trash.
Chase Daniel looked fine. Get out of here. The Ravens beat the Bears 17-16.
Oh, Bears are going to be terrible. Hot take.
Yeah, hot take. Bears going to be bad. I do want to say I saw a what's it called? A little blurb, I guess.
Blurb.
That Chase Daniel, over his 8-year career, has made $25 million while throwing only 87 passes. What a life. Or something along those lines.
Certainly worth the money.
Seriously. That's almost as insane as Carmelo making $5 million per day he was with the Hawks. But as we said, Ravens beat Bears 17-16. A couple of big stories coming out of the Hall of Fame game. Both are on the Baltimore Ravens side. So the two quarterbacks that really carried the load of work for the Baltimore Ravens, obviously not Joe Flacco.
Right.
Do you know who their backup is, Tony or Dan O'Shea? I know you know.
For what?
Do you know
Lamar
who?
Jackson.
No, it is not Lamar Jackson. He's the third stringer.
Who's their backup then?
Robert Griffin III.
Oh, they did get it.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Well, he was the one who started the game. And he went 7 of 11 for 58 yards, a touchdown, and interception. He had 3 rushes for 9 yards, which isn't all that great, but we knew that he has problems. His decision-making, absolutely terrible, very indecisive, made really bad decisions. But the one thing that I took away from this game, from his portion of the game, isn't his stats. It's the fact that his cuts looked really clean and his knee looked fine.
Really?
Swear to God, watching it, he stepped up in the pocket, he escaped, his cuts looked clean. He looked like he was pre-injury Robert Griffin III. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to play well, but after watching that game, I am 0% concerned about that injury. Because he looked confident.
That could be huge, that he looked electric when, before the injury. So if he's back to his old self, then who knows what could happen. If confidence can be gotten back. So who knows?
So that right there speaks volumes for any of the questions about, is he going to be okay? Can he really come back and play? So I have no concerns. I mean, obviously, we only saw 11 passes, but he didn't look skittish. He didn't look like he was worried about his knee. It looked fine. He just sucks. So,
To put it bluntly.
that, in my opinion, was the biggest story because we all see what happens when teams get desperate and need a quarterback. They overpay for garbage. And I have a feeling that tonight's going to be a good night. I'm just kidding. I have a feeling that if a team needs a quarterback that fits a system where they need a little bit of mobility, Robert Griffin III is going to fetch a hefty price, even though he shouldn't. Kind of like the Sam Bradford to the Eagles deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was that, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
So, RG3, knee looks fine. Decision-making still bad. The other quarterback was Lamar Jackson. He had a dismal 4 of 10 for 33 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, with 8 rushes for 25 yards. In all fairness to him, this is the first time he's ever thrown a pass in the NFL. It's the first time he's ever stepped on an NFL field and really had any competition. Because, yeah, practice is great. Just ask Allen Iverson. But you've got to realize that in practice you can't touch the quarterback, so you're not getting the full speed. You're not really getting what happens in an NFL game. So Lamar Jackson also very bad decision making, which again it was his first time ever throwing the ball in the NFL. Not worried about him. He threw a touchdown, so that's nice. Unfortunately, he also threw an interception. So we have a lot to look forward to for those who are interested in seeing how the quarterback situation in Baltimore plays out, because there are a lot of people who think that Joe Flacco is going to be gone at the end of the season.
I think that depends on Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco will probably decide what he wants to do. I mean, they kind of are already committed to paying him an assload of money.
Yeah, but
I mean, you're going to have to try and have someone take that contract. That's not going to be an easy ask for any team.
Well, I mean, you don't even really need to, because the quarterback that you have backing him up, Lamar Jackson, is on a rookie contract outside of the top 10 picks. Means he's not getting paid much at all, and you have all the power in that contract.
Right, but what do you do with Flacco? You cut him?
You sit him on the bench. Make him hungry. 2 games, we'll try this again.
I guess.
That's what I would do. Or, again, some team needs a quarterback that goes down. Boom, Joe Flacco's available. I mean...
Yeah.
Again, Sam Bradford. We have a history of horrible quarterback being traded for like 11 first-round picks. So...
Good point.
Yeah. So, we'll have to see how that plays out. Obviously, I think Joe Flacco has nothing to worry about this year, at least. But we do have a feel-good story from this week. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Ryan Shazier walked across the field unassisted.
That is nice
at Steelers
to see.
practice.
He's making a lot of progress. I'm glad to see him walking and up and moving and see that the rehab is going well. And I wish him all the best. I don't know if he should ever take the risk of ever stepping on a football field again.
Never, ever should he play the game of football again. Not even flag football.
No, for his own safety, he certainly should not.
Never. And anyone who says otherwise only cares about being entertained.
Clearly.
All right. This man's life, his livelihood, his health, it's at risk. Unless, and I do mean unless, a miracle happens and by week 8 he is running around, like actually running, then maybe you revisit in a year to see if it makes sense for him to play again.
I mean, how gingerly he was walking to begin with makes me think that it's still going to require